Hello, people. I'm in the middle. I'm still in my PJs, sorry, because I'm busy doing housework. It's Sunday and I've got a lot of housework to do. But somebody asked a very valid point on one of my videos, because I normally upload my lives when I'm finished to YouTube for people that missed it. But my live yesterday that I did completely vanished. I don't know what happened to it. I did a very good live and I tried to upload it and it was no longer there. It didn't even save because all your lives automatically save to TikTok where you can download them. This one didn't even save. It just disappeared. But on one of my YouTube videos, a lady asked me, it had me thinking yesterday. And I thought, oh, well, I'm busy because I've been busy. I'll do it another time. But, you got to talk when you need to talk. So now's a good time. The energies are amazing. We had a massive spike coming into the planet. Wonderful energies. She asked something very valid. It's confusing for her. She said, well, how come it's good and evil and we're all supposed to be one? How do you get this unity consciousness, right? When they say there is no such thing as good and evil. We all connected, we all one, there's only love. But then she can't understand, why is there good and evil? Why do some people do wrong? Or, just, if you go look at the comments, one of her things is very valid. And I thought, well, yes, how do you explain that to someone? Because they look at people, narcissist all evil or something, whatever. And I just thought, well, this is very interesting because this is very complex, actually. If you're not there, and you're not doing transcendental meditation and seeking that or seen it yourself, or you can't remember reincarnating and all this, it will seem very confusing to you because you'll think everyone that's dark is dark and evil and they're bad people and whatever else. What it is, and I'm going to give you an explanation from my knowing what I've seen, all my trips, what's been shown to me, what's come through to me, my downloads, is we all have free will, and that's even biblical. Right? We got, as souls, everyone knows that you have free will every minute, all the time. It depends how you exercise that free will. We also all choose to connect each life. So you choose, depending on your level of consciousness and whatever else, because when you leave this body, believe me, you've got a high frequency in you're not this thing. You completely choose the lives you want to drop into. Whether you didn't finish your previous life, you didn't go well, you weren't happy with your results, you didn't complete something. It's more of, you don't come here to achieve, to be a president or something. You choose the path, whatever you're willing to experience and seek, whether it's going to be enlightenment, whether it's compassion, whether it's peace, whether it's knowledge, I don't know. That's what you do. So you choose the incarnation according to what you think your best possible, what that life, that DNA, that family will give you that experience. So you choose that and you drop in. Okay, we dropped into darkness. We have free will. So maybe you came in here with a good intent. Maybe you came in here to experience nastiness, separation, darkness, suffering, whatever it is. You can also get lost here. A lot of people are extremely lost. They're so stuck in darkness because they've never woken up before. You haven't done your shadow work and your healing. Most people walking around here with huge anger, most people, what they say narcissists, have not done any healing this lifetime or anything. They have so full. Now, this is even a biblical thing. They say, so within, so without. So whatever within is without. Now, that's exactly how you reflect. This is how you will walk on the planet. So if you've got an extreme amount of anger, rage from being, say, abused as a child and violence and whatever else, fear, hurt, all these things, that's exactly what you will see in the world. You'll see everything as a danger, a threat, a nasty, a dark, it's a horrible planet, whatever. So this is very true. What you hold within, if everything's evil and all darkness and all nasty and they're all bad, you need to really go within. Those are your life and your past lives and shadow work you have not done. And you have not reached that level of consciousness where you understand every being has a choice and they are coming here to experience something, to learn. They're not listening to their guides. Some of them get stuck in darkness. You focus on the darkness, it consumes you. So I saw that even with a comment on my live yesterday. I did a live Q&A, random live Q&A yesterday. And it was so interesting. And I get to certain people are still stuck in a very dark fear, this is very rigid. They haven't woken up yet. So they're believing everything they learned on this planet, or they were told by people or whatever, wherever it came from. Doesn't matter what they say, even your history. They haven't realized that what, as they say, this is what we're living through. The veil is rising. Everything will be revealed, the truth. They're still buying into everything they've learned here, somebody else's truth, because this is the religion I was told, or this is the way, and that's it. Something, I was taught this on earth, and that's just, it is. They haven't, and same with this woman said, well, are all narcissists, possessed or something? People think all these people, maybe the dark people, have attachments, are being run by some demonic thing. Most of the demons are their own. That's what I'm saying. It's called shadow work. Most of their darkness is their own, and it's projected out there. So a lot of people, it's their own darkness, fears, things. This is what they manifest. This is what they see. This is what they experience, because they're on a lower frequency and density, for one. So what you resonate at is what you're going to experience. So if you're on a very low frequency, a lot of darkness, a lot of fear, a lot of anger in yourself, you're on a very low frequency and vibration. That's the density and dimension you are bumping at. You are going to see a lot of darkness because it resonates. That's what the field, that's what you're picking up on. So you're going to bump into people on this planet in that same frequency. You're going to meet a lot of nasty, dark people. If you're doing this, you're going to bump into a lot of nasty and dark things out there because you haven't cleared it. I did a video on the demonic realm and all that stuff on my YouTube thing. So it's a lot of it's internal. People haven't realized. If you hold, and also they don't remember. So these people come here to choose to play a role. Some people go into their regressions, just wanted to understand forgiveness or something, and they ended up being murdered in their life. But they managed to do that. So when they left their body, they hung around for a while, everything else, and when their life was finished, they resolved, they realized, okay, this life was about forgiveness. They had to forgive the people that murdered and raped her. It was interesting. As a soul, as you understand, it's not just in this body. So some of them are, some people, because they are, they're playing that. They've got so much trauma. So when you're holding a lot of trauma, anger, hate, fear, whatever's been programmed into you, right? Your auric field is extremely low and weak. It's like a tea bag. So it leaves you open to spiritual attacks, attachments, and things like that, and to be manipulated by beings on a lower density dimension. And there's a lot of nonsense out there. So those people absolutely are vulnerable. And if you're playing a nasty dark role, if you haven't healed yourself, and you start becoming the person who's abusing, killing, harming people, you are absolutely giving yourself open to those things. So yes, there are definitely people, nasty people out there that have done some very bad things, yes, that are absolutely manipulated and controlled and by other beings and entities. Because they are so dark themselves, they haven't, cleared it or claimed or changed. They haven't woken up. They're stuck in the darkness. Some are not. Some choose to play. They came here to play the dark. Because, and think about one thing. If all of us came here to be, oh, this is wonderful. This is not the planet. This universe is duality. We came here to play separation. It's very dark. So you are separated. You're completely cut off spiritually when you came into the planet. Because we were on a very low frequency and density. Now it's rising. So most people are waking up, but we haven't been for thousands of centuries. We've been cut off. We were only buying into what we were told by other people. Oh, this is, whatever. Doesn't matter what you're looking into, what religion you're looking into, or anything, science. We were just fed. So all we knew was what we were told, because we weren't tapping in for ourselves, and we weren't connected. So it's extremely fascinating. So if we all came here and we were all playing, wonderful unity, we had this consciousness we were going to for it. But then there would be, if you decided, right, you wanted to learn forgiveness, compassion, love, how would you be able to do that on 3D and to Earth if there was no one to be compassionate to? If no one needed your love and compassion because everybody was happy and they had no problems, you couldn't be the hero, you couldn't be the person to come and play, to help, to heal someone, to love them, to soothe them. There would be no healers. There would be no use for healers. So that's why we have it. Everybody has a choice to come here, to play the darkness. A lot of people decide to drop in and they think they're going to achieve their purpose because they think they'll be able to. But they never woke up. So they got bought into the darkness and they didn't achieve their thing and they got into maybe played dark roles, or they will leave this planet and they'll go back and think, oh, damn, review your life, and it's, oh, no, okay, So I will come back and I want to redo that because I didn't get it right. I'm determined to overcome my fear or something. So they keep coming back until they achieve whatever it is they thought they could overcome in this life. But the challenge is to wake up from the darkness, to drop into this density and to be cut off from all that is and remember who you really are as an eternal soul who's pure love and light, absolute pure energy, pure part of source. Just source is amazing. Is one hell of a challenge. And some people have chosen in this carnation now to play the dark because we need it, to wake those people up. If we didn't have this going on, we would not have the awakening. We would not need the healers. So it's a lot of us have come here to help the people that are waking up, to heal the planet. I mean, there's a huge amount of healing needed. It's going to take a long time until this is completely over, this process. So it's so difficult. I can understand from someone who's down on the density to understand, well, good and evil, how do you say we're all one? We're all connected. We absolutely are. Absolutely all one. We're all equal as souls. We absolutely love it at the core. Some just have not woken up yet, or maybe not choosing to, or resisting to wake up, and won't wake up. They'll leave the planet, with their veil still on them and the whole thing, in that dense, dark, whatever. So I don't know that's what I'm saying. Every soul is absolutely different, and you have there's many of you living many parallel lives and other lives. Not all the same experience. But the people that cannot remember anything, that are still stuck in the darkness and fear anything new, absolute resistance. We've got a lot of resistance. You talk about things like that and people think, oh no, there's definitely, whatever. But that's where they're at. That's what I'm saying. They see that, oh my gosh, you're going to be punished. They see anger, hate, fear, oh, you're going to, whatever else. That's what they're holding within them. And it's for them to go through that process and do it for themselves and wake up and whatever. But I could understand where she's coming from. Well, how can we all be one and we all love, but there's good and evil then? Because actually, on a soul level, as a conscious, you actually are. You absolutely are. And I really can't talk for everybody. Every soul is different, and I've met some like that, as I say, very, very full of rage, absolute. But once you're able to tap and you're able to see if there are things manipulating them, and attachments, absolutely. That's why they have past life regressions, to remove any and heal. But those people haven't. They're so stuck in their anger and darkness, they won't. They won't wake up at this. They don't want to, or they refuse it, whatever the story is. Every soul's different. You cannot, there's no one saying, oh yeah, all narcissists are evil, or all narcissists are, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Some of them, it's their divine role they've chosen. It's a very difficult, can you imagine? We are at a source, at a core, love. Absolutely love, and that you come from source. To come here, to agree, it takes a very strong soul to play a very dark role. Divine, it's your divine, you chose that as a divine role, is very, very difficult. That's the sacrifice they chose. Someone that comes here to choose in your life to hurt you, to teach you a lesson because you wanted to learn love or forgiveness. So somebody has to come into your life to be the person that's going to break your heart or hurt you, so you can learn forgiveness. So sometimes, as the old sayings go, those that hurt you, the ones further away need the most love and the most forgiveness. So sometimes the people that have taught you the hardest lessons are the one you have the most to thank, actually. Which will be quite a discovery if you haven't woken up and you get back there and you say, oh my gosh. But then if you try to drop in again and you're choosing that level of consciousness, you're not going to remember when you come back. But sometimes the people that have hurt you the most are ones you agreed with to help you to do that lesson with you. In next life you might be. You've had past lives or lives where you've done nasty things. You've had dark lives. Whatever. So we've had all kinds of things that happen to us as well. So believe it or not, the ones that have done the worst to you in your life, maybe the ones you're going to be the most thankful for because you agreed. So especially the ones that come to challenge you and push you. Because possibly if you agreed to wake up, they're going to keep pushing you because that was their role, to be part of your awakening, to trigger your awakening. So there's many, there is no one answer, one fits all, absolutely not. Because we don't know where that soul is on their evolution path. Density, consciousness, you cannot say And we're absolutely all connected. Absolutely. There's no separation, actually, between us, the elements, um, anything, absolutely anything, and other beings, planetary being, at a soul level, at source. If you go back to source, everybody comes from source, and everything is connected via source. So you're connected to the stars. That's why they say, how do you think you can tap into everything, right? The quantum field. You can talk to stones, you can talk to planets, you can talk to other beings, you can talk to trees, you can talk to crystals, pretty much rocks, actually. Amazing. So that shows you we're absolutely all connected, as you wouldn't be able to do that, and everything has consciousness. And when you go back to source, you realize that. It's when you're back to being connected with all that is, it's amazing. It's mind-blowing. Because even the space, which you call space, is like conscious. It's like everything is conscious. It's like being in a massive... Try and think of it as a massive internet, right? The internet's connected to everything. Now think of yourself as that, as a consciousness, as a soul. You're literally connected to everything. Absolutely mind-blowing. So don't look at all things, and don't... I got some gentleman yesterday that was having a go at me because he's very stuck in what he learned here. He won't let go of his beliefs. So anything that challenges his belief, he feels threatened and he attacks, and he thinks you working for the dark. Shame. And I could feel it. I could feel the darkness and fear, anger in him. So sad. I could feel it, that energy. Wow, it was a very dark. He has this thing that, and I just thought, wow, so sweet. But that's a choice. It's his soul's playing. Whatever. I'm not interfering in his soul's purpose. I have no clue what he's come here to play, what he wants to feel and achieve. Maybe he just wants to understand separation, which is extremely difficult. What it's like to be separated from source, because it's not us. We're not separate. So how do we experience any form of separation, or any physical? To understand it in such a deep way is by being physical, because we don't do it there. It's just amazing. It's just wow, such love, such connectivity, 360-degree vision. You know everything, see everything at all at once, absolutely everything. It is just unbelievable. So yes, it's so hard. I thought, wow, that's such a clever question. How come there's good and bad, but then we all one? You know, there's no punishment, no. People still want, but they want to believe that. That's their choice. And they will experience that till they wake up. So that's their choice to experience it. They chose to. So they want to think there's good and bad and punishment, and you're going to be this and that. And they will manifest it as well. It's an experience they want. And the best I can say to people like that, if they want to have some kind of understanding of this, to go and listen to the Conversations with God. There are audiobooks now available on YouTube. Part 1, 2, and 3 really explains this. Wonderful. Because whatever you want to experience, that's why it's infinity, all possibilities, all options, all life, it's amazing. Because whatever you, the soul, you've got free will think, imagine, dream, want to be, want to experience, you can. It's almost like you created. And they give it to you. Just bloody awesome. So yes, unity, we absolutely are as souls. And we choose to play different carnations, different levels, because we're eternal. What are we going to do with all our time? Absolutely, what are you going to do? You know, you go back to source, you get bored. You keep going. So we have many lives at the same time, not just one. And sometimes your future life drops in on you. Cheeky, it's very cheeky, and comes to laugh at you actually. So a friend of mine, we have many lives together. We go way back. And I was doing a meditation the other day, and I was clearing blocks. Whatever I was doing, I was battling. I'm doing my own block thing. I was doing some nonsense on myself, restricting or blocking or thinking, whatever nonsense. And I clearly saw it. And then I could quite feel it when you're in a high rhythm. And next minute, a spaceship came down, and I could feel it was trying to teleport me up. And I was thinking, who the heck is this? And I was like, no. And I look up, and it was so funny. One of our parallel lives. My friend and I, this is in the future Earth actually. I don't know how far down, but far, quite obviously. So here we were, and I've seen future Earth, many, many versions and many lives of the planet, this Earth, where we're going and what happens. And the two of us were on a ship, and we'd come back to see this, because you know what's going on. So we'd come back to see this time. And both of us were sitting on the ship above my house, having a cackle at me, trying to connect, because I was trying to do something or view something. And it was hilarious. I said, bugger off, laughing at me. We just come back to laugh, because this is, we're going back to the past. What we came through in the Great Awakening, whatever nonsense. But we do this, and you are many other beings and many other lives, which you can tap into, and you do sometimes. So if you're not awake and people think you're new age and this is dangerous and you are evil and you're preaching something, but that's saying you must, whatever you do, please don't push or argue or push your point or thing on anybody, whatever their choice is, because their soul's in full agreement with it. If their soul didn't want them to do something or whatever, they will wake up. We don't know when they've agreed to wake up. We don't know if it's this life. We don't know what they've agreed to experience in this life. So do not tell someone you're wrong, you're ignorant, you're silly, you're this, you're that. You don't get angry with them. That's just you then. As within, so without. So they say, as below, so above. Same thing. This is what I'm trying to say. What you're experiencing here, and if you think, oh my gosh, you're having negative experiences with negative beings or anything, right? You are not on a high enough vibration and frequency, and you haven't done enough clearing. Okay, so you got to clear your energy field. Hold no anger. Do your shadow work. Because you will get that. And you won't have. If you think something's an enemy to you, that's maybe you chose to experience this. Don't know. But no, there's no enemies out there, actually. Absolutely not. It's amazing. But let them go through their own experience. So maybe they will have a few more carnations until they really experience Source again. Or I don't know. Because people have many different experiences. Near death, and depends exactly what their consciousness and what they want to experience and where they are. That's what the evolution path they'll be. They'll go up there and they'll have their little hearing and think they're being, and whatever. There's many different. I made a whole video about this death thing and different life experiences. It's amazing. So I really can't. It depends on your level of consciousness, what you'll be able to, and your resonance, what you'll be able to absorb and understand and feel. So some people are on that separation. There is good and bad, us and them. That's it. But there isn't. You love them all, send them love, like this poor man. I sent him love. He was angry and frightened, and I could feel that. I could tap in, you could see that energy and darkness and fear. He was so in the darkness himself, because they're consumed by darkness. So the more you think you've got evil and enemies to fight, the more darkness you have in you. And I just thought, shame. And I sent him, love. You just want to send out love. And you wish them consciousness. If they want it. The soul will not let them interfere. It's not what their soul's purpose and souls want. So you can wish people consciousness. You can send out love, calm, and healing. Only if their soul will accept it. But most souls will accept healing. Depends. If you wish it. If you ask them, their higher self. If you can send them healing or protection. But some souls will not let you interfere whatsoever. If it's not. So there we are. That's what's on the planet. So don't look at another being. Don't look. If you projecting on someone else, and someone else is frustrating, or why can't, it's just showing your inadequacies, fears, or unresolved issues in yourself. So I just watch everybody, and I think that's interesting, and I don't, you have no idea what they came to play. There's so many of us, many fractals of us. So leave them, because they're all your brothers and sisters. Love them all. I love all beings. I send them all love, because we are absolutely one. And then and we can't all experience the same things. It would be boring. How are we going to learn? So we're all over the place experiencing so much, and all that goes back to Source. It's amazing. So that's all shared with everybody. So there is no right and wrong, actually, because you have free will. There's no right and wrong, which is strange. But anyway. Okay, right, people. I'm going to get back to my housework now. I did another remote view drop in today somewhere, which I'm not going to talk about. Some of it's not particularly something I want to put out in the public domain anyway. Things that are going on planetary-wise at the moment. Yeah, I do these things and I don't know how. Some of us are able to drop into other beings on other planets and all kinds of things, I don't know. Anyway, and I'm sure a lot of people are. Depends on your resonance, depends on your community. What your purpose is, with what your agreement is, what you allow, because you can block anything. Nothing can communicate with you or drop into you or whatever if you don't allow it. Because you have free will as a soul as well. You claim your sovereignty on a soul level. So if you don't want to communicate with any beings or help any beings or do anything, you won't. And you can also state whether you want to communicate with any dark beings or negative beings. You're quite happy to listen to them. If you don't fear them and they're not your enemy, you can also help people. You can help these other beings that are playing dark. Get out. Let them know as well that, hey, listen, you're able, and that's you don't have to choose, to connect into a higher existence out of that planet or body if you don't want to be in it. When you leave, everything's a soul choice. It's amazing. And you're not a victim. And people get very angry with me when I say that. Oh, yes, but how can you say someone who got raped and murdered is not a victim? Whatever else. Same with people that die. Your soul chooses when you're going to die and leave this planet. If you're not supposed to, you're not going anywhere. Sometimes they try and stop you, warn you and things. You don't listen. Yes, you have an accident. You die when you shouldn't have or something, then you come back, whatever. But actually, sometimes you are, I'm afraid, like this lady was fascinating. You agreed to, you just don't see every detail. You see the possibilities and what you want to experience in that life when you go ahead. But also, timelines can change, depends on every choice you make, because you have free will. If you change not to experience that or whatever, you can go higher, you can go lower. That's the problem. It can change. So yeah, some people they did agree to that, and when they died it was like, oh, what was the purpose of this life? Forgiveness. So then that person was able to forgive the two men that murdered her. She got it. But that's what you do when you look back and you leave your body, and you don't have to wait for somebody else to give you a life review or know. Your soul knows everything. You look back at your body even now, and you can ask, what was my purpose? Why did I connect you? What did I want to learn, understand, and feel? Poof! And it'll come to you, and you're like, oh my goodness me. Bloody mind-blowing. All right, people. But this I know won't resonate with a lot of people, especially not who's still stuck in whatever, because everything we've learned on this planet. Clear your mind of everything that you've absorbed, that you've been told, you've learned at school, your history books, your religious books. If you want the real truth, you go within and only ask yourself. But if you want to follow teachers and gurus and other people, then you're taking on whatever they believe and their truth. And then how do you know it's the truth? It's their level of consciousness or their knowing. So the best is don't take anything from outside. You shouldn't be worshipping and following and idolizing people anyway. Go within. That's the real truth. Or you're following a guru who's telling you his truth and what you should be doing and how to do something. Or a teacher or not, whatever. And you'll learn that everything we thought in this life is not actually, it's not completely not anything. Our history, our dates are wrong. Everything is completely backwards because we were just on a very low level of consciousness. So yes, but some people aren't willing to let go of those things because it's fear. It's the unknown. Now you're telling them everything you know is not true. It's very scary, and they feel frightened now because I feel safe because I know that's going to happen, and you're threatening. They feel insecure. You don't want to know that everything you thought is true is not true. Then your whole sort of like comfort blanket is pulled up from underneath you. This is what half the planet's doing at the moment. So be patient, be loving, be understanding, and understand what you resonate, what you hold, what you resist, what you fear, you drawing it to you. So whatever you resist, you're trying to fight something's going on in your life, and you're trying to keep pushing at that job, and the job's not, you're not meant to be there. You got fears, anger, hate, worry, evil, this, that. Those experiences, and that you're on that frequency, you're going to draw more fear, negative, hate, and evil towards you. Don't focus on the things you don't want in your life or in your field. Don't focus on the dark, the evil, and this and that, because you are holding it here on earth. You are keeping it in your life. There we are. That's the best advice I can give to anybody. So, and do your work, but those that really want to will do. If it's their soul's mission, their soul will guide them. They will go for healing. They will wake up. If not, they are not going to, because they are resisting it. They're not wanting to. They're not, maybe not agreed to. Who knows? So there we are. Don't know. But don't fear anything. Absolutely not. And I have no negative issues with any beings. Even though they have a lot of negative issues with us and maybe wish harm on us on the planet, I don't have personal issue with a being. I will respect that being, and I will talk to that being, and I'll tell them that they have choices. Because they don't remember, they're in a different separation of dark. But they're able to change and able to, when they leave that body, if they wish now, choose to evolve into higher consciousness, get out of that nasty situation and have a better future as a soul. And so they're not going to reincarnate into the same planet, the same negative experience all the time, like we did for